Molly, for more on this, we're joined now by former acting ICE director and Fox News contributor Tom Homan. Tom, you're aware of the numbers. You heard Bill's great reporting down there. What's your reaction? And of these record-breaking numbers, what stands out the most to you?
Well, first of all, Bill Maloogian is doing a great job down there, showing the American people the truth. But look, the numbers are, I'm beyond disgusted, Griff. You and I talked about this many times. Under the Trump administration, we had illegal immigration at a 40-year low. It was down 83%. And this administration came in and dismantled everything we did. And now you see the record numbers. They say 2.3, 2.4 is actually 2.7 because you're not counting the port of entry cases. You add that to 1.7 last year, you get almost 4.5 million people enter this country legally and were encountered. Add to that the over 1 million known gotaways. These aren't a guess. They're on video and drone traffic and camera traffic. You add that million to the 4.5, we got well over 5 million people have entered this country illegally. 1 million got away. Another 1.7 million that this administration let into the country. This is beyond incredible. And Bill's right. They're breaking a lot of records, but none of those records are good records. They're all bad records.
Tom, put in perspective for us in the entire history of the border, and now we have these numbers. What will history say about what has happened right now with this border, which is anything but closed, anything but secure? You see the numbers we're putting up on our screen again.
I think historically it's going to say a couple things. Number one, that the strongest country in the world, the United States of America, no longer has operational control of our border. Joe Biden handed that to the criminal cartels. The criminal cartels in Mexico control our border. Chief patrol agents have told me that. I've read plenty of intelligence reports. When over 1 million people cross that border and not get arrested, that border is not secure. And Bill covered exactly right. It's just not about illegal immigration, right? They arrested 98 people on the terror screening database just this year. And you had that, what they did first year under Biden, 113 people on the terror screening database were apprehended. Now, take into account the 1 million gotaways. Terrorists don't want to be arrested. They're trained how to invade law enforcement. So how many of the 1 million people that got away are known suspected terrorists that came to this country to do us harm? And you add to that the fentanyl crisis. Fentanyl is flown across that border because 70% of agents are off the line. Over 100,000 Americans have died from drug overdoses. So this administration created a humanitarian crisis of historic proportions, while at the same time creating a public safety crisis, a public health crisis, and for God's sakes, the biggest national security crisis I've ever seen.
Why? Why, Tom? Why would they allow it to get to this point?
You know what? I think it's two things. Number one, it's your ideology. I think Joe Biden, this administration, sold out to the progressive left that thinks we shouldn't have borders. And number two, you got to think about what else did the Biden administration do after he became president? He overturned the Trump census rule. So millions of people are now going to be counted the next census in sanctuary cities, which is going to result in what? More seats in the House for the Dems. But as far as I want people to understand the terrorist threat is so serious, all these databases we created, the no-fly list, the terror screening database, the visa security program, we prevented thousands of terrorists coming to this country with a visa or airline ticket. But those databases mean nothing now because you can simply go to Mexico, not be vetted, don't worry about getting your fingerprints taken, cross the border the way 1 million others did, and come here and do us harm. This is a huge national security issue, and it should scare the hell out of everybody.
And Tom, just in the last 30 seconds we've got, that number, 856 migrant deaths for an administration that wanted to be the most humanitarian and compassionate, it seems they've gotten just the opposite result.
Another bad record. Since Joe Biden became president, over 1,400 migrants have died on U.S. soil. When we had the border security at 83% decline, how many migrants didn't die, Griff? How many Americans didn't die from drug overdoses? President Trump saved lives. Joe Biden is costing lives.
And just quickly, before we run out of time, I want to play a soundbite. Democrat from Alaska, Mary Sattler Peltola, told us about a problem on a very northern border. Listen to this, Tom.
We're very worried about our most western border along the Bering Sea. We've had folks from Russia come across already. There were 2 gentlemen who were trying to evade their inscription. And we certainly need to be investing as much as we possibly can in terms of military and other ways in Arctic infrastructure.
A Democrat needs border security in the Arctic Circle. Your reaction?
All of our borders are at risk because they pulled 50% of the border patrol agents off the northern border to go to Mexico. To be on the Mexican border. But bottom line is they're arresting a record amount of Russians coming through Mexico. So the whole world knows this border is open. Everybody but Secretary Mayorkas knows this border is open, including terrorist organizations and countries that hate us and want to see this country destroyed.
Former Acting ICE Director Tom Homan, always appreciate your great insight. Thanks, Tom.